Good morning, everyone. Thank you for taking the time to meet with us and let us introduce this new product into the UK. So we're here to talk about smart tech and how it's changing the landscape of security in the UK. So just to start, and I just want to introduce who's going to be on the call today. So with our two founders, Warren Myers and Ryan Green, and myself, I'm the general manager in the UK and running with things in the UK. So what?
No, thanks, Craig. Good morning, everyone. Great to be here. As Craig mentioned, I'm a co-founder and CEO of Aura. We're a marketplace platform that enables anyone to access a security medical response unit to their location. And typically across most of our global markets, that's enabled through a variety of unique access modalities, or generally apps. We integrate into a lot of different Apple IoT applications to enable on-demand access to your closest response unit. And over the last few years, if you want to just click over there, guys, to the next slide, we're quite new, but I feel we've covered quite a bit of ground. And just so that everyone on the call knows a bit of our history, we founded in SA in 2017. Obviously, a great market to launch a security and medical response platform, whereby we were addressing a really important issue, not only in South Africa, but across most countries where there's safety issues. And we were able to embed a platform into an ecosystem which had quite a few constraints. On the one side, there were the response companies who have the vehicles and the response officers who typically had quite a lot of idle capacity on their assets. They weren't responding a lot of the time, and they were quite idle. And on the demand side of the marketplace, we had millions and millions of people that just weren't able to access these critical services. So we put our platform together to marry that marketplace in a shared value concept. In South Africa now, we have over 300 independent or vetted response companies, thousands of response vehicles with our technology embedded in their fleets, and over 500,000 users on the platform. Last year, we branched out to Kenya. That's also gone really great, mainly on the aggregated app and personal safety play. And I think that the key point around today is what are we doing in the UK now, which we're extremely excited about. And the guys are going to take everyone through the nuts and bolts of it. But in short, and across most markets, even established markets like the UK, the amount of monitored alarms is exponentially growing. And this is due to a lot more middle class, a lot more DIY alarm kits that are coming into the market that are now typically getting linked to professionally monitored control rooms that were reliant on police response. And with that amount of demand coming in, the police, as good as they are in most of these markets, aren't able to deal with all of the false alarms and the amount of responses needed. And that's where we come in as a private platform to enable immediate verification of unverified alarm systems, and ensuring that customers always get the closest responder out to verify what's going on at their premises. And obviously, if police are required, that would be escalated to them. But that's really the intro for us. I think where we're going now, we've just, as the slide says, moved on through our Series A funding round. We're launching in about 6 other new markets at the moment. and overall very, very exciting. So that's really it from me. I'm going to hand over to the guys to go into the problem we're looking to solve, and then Ryan will actually take everyone through how the product works. Thanks very much, guys.
Amazing. Thanks, Wa. So just talking about the UK problem, and it's highlighted in the problem we were trying to solve in South Africa 4 years ago, and have made a significant impact on the pain points that were felt. So just speaking to the problems that we've seen, we've been in the market, or we've been in the UK since December. And we've been speaking to a lot of the ARCs and understanding the markets, just to make sure we're hitting the right spot. So what we're seeing is long response times due to subcontracted call outs that go right down to the end, to someone that may not be vetted properly. People don't know who's actually responding, what time they'll get there, if they're going to get there, etc. And this has been exacerbated by the change in police policy around the alarm verification. Further affecting the response times is use of analog systems, phone calls, a lot of back and forth, and not being able to track and document all these events that are happening down the line in this process. And then we've got this lack of visibility and historical data due to the way they're working, where your customers left out of the loop, and they're not able to get real-time updated information of where the responder is and what's happening. And just to speak to Warren's point, I've put in a slide here that we've got from government analysis from the Ministry of Communities, but the spending across the police force is down, and we really want to compliment the police force in identifying and escalating or de-escalating a call out when necessary, and saving customers time and getting the attention they deserve. So we want to introduce you to Aura Auto Guard Dispatch. This is our service, and it's packaged in a way that your alarm receiving center can dispatch our entire network of private offices, and get a quick response. And Ryan's going to show you how to do that. But I just want to show you a quick video.
When your customer's alarm is activated, their assumption is that help is on the way. However, with many security companies subcontracting response services to alarm receiving centers that rely on old systems and processes, this assumption is wrong. From delayed response times, reliance on human intervention, a lack of visibility on the whereabouts and progress of response officers, and more recently, police not responding to unverified callouts, customers aren't getting the service they expect. But they could be. Fast response times and peace of mind. How do we do this? We give alarm receiving centers access to our smart dispatch platform linked to our on-demand nationwide response network, which is comprised of the best-in-class registered and vetted security guards. Because they're all equipped with in-vehicle responder devices, they can be auto-dispatched in seconds with no need for manual intervention. When an alarm is raised in your alarm receiving center, at the click of a button, Aura's technology allows you to automatically alert the nearest response units on our network, regardless of the company they belong to. The first response unit to accept the call-out is immediately dispatched. Because no phone calls are required during the dispatch process, no valuable seconds are wasted. All activations are monitored by our Aura Control Center 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, offering you the best in backup support should you need it. And while we pride ourselves on our smart technology, Our team of passionate people will be in direct contact with the response unit throughout, as well as your own alarm receiving center operators if necessary. You can track the movements of response officers in real time, giving you an unparalleled level of transparency and accountability. Upon the responder arriving and verifying the scene, police escalation can be provided if required. On completion of the call-out, all information and hard data pertaining to the incident is shared with the relevant parties and stored for your records. With Aura AutoGuard Dispatch, you get more transparency, unparalleled reporting, as well as increased sales and less churn, while your customers get the service they expect and deserve. In order to create a world where everyone is safe, you need to do better than the industry standard. You need your people to be backed by technology that's as hardworking as they are. You need Aura AutoGuard Dispatch.
Thank you, guys. So we're going to jump into a live demo of the platform. I'm just going to stop sharing. Right.
Morning, everyone. And thanks for taking the time to be here with us today. I think the live demonstration that we're going to do, I'll kick that off in a few moments, but I think it's worth mentioning that this piece of technology that we're going to demonstrate to you today is something that is going to significantly help with the dispatch of the resources that we have put on our network and all the smart tools and pieces of technology that help make our service what it is. But I think it's worth mentioning that we're very aware that alarm receiving centers like yourselves have systems that you've invested a lot of money and workflows and training and a lot of operational input has gone into that. And although we're providing a separate web portal or web-based portal that would run our solution, the integration side of integrating this technology and these tools into an existing alarm monitoring software or platform that you guys already have invested in is something that we are very eager to explore down the line. But initially to get traction and to get you guys feeling and trying the service, we've developed a web-based platform which would enable you to identify and dispatch the resources on our network when you had a call out that required response. And that's essentially what I'm going to take you through in this short demonstration. So the world that I'm going to paint, or the picture that I'm going to paint, is going to be using your existing systems where your alarm signals would come in. And this tool that you're seeing on screen at the moment would be used to dispatch the Aura network or the Guard network when a response is required. So on screen, we've got the web-based portal. An alarm receiving center would already have pre-populated all of your sites that you would want a response to potentially go out for. And all those sites would be pre-registered on this drop-down menu over here. We've obviously just listed a couple of sites in and around the UK at the moment. And we're going to dispatch to a site called Salesforce Tower, which is our demo site. We've also got an activation source. So obviously when your customer's alarm goes off or some signal is received, there's a variety of different reasons why that alarm has gone off, or the site has sent an alert, and we can essentially record that data up front so that we know exactly where the signal originated from. So we'll choose a silent alarm over here. We've got the site that we want to dispatch to. We've got an instruction checklist, which can be provided by your alarm receiving center, specified instructions that you and your company would like the responders to acknowledge and follow through with once they arrive on scene. And in this case, we're going to choose just a pure home check, simple home check. And then there's the ability to add in additional instructions. And these instructions could be something like an entry code, if there was a keypad that needed entry, or any information that needs to be passed through to the responder that's going to be proceeding to that site. That information can be populated prior to the call out being created and the dispatch taking place. Now, I think, the first question that will probably come to mind is there's a couple of steps that are being followed here before dispatch can take place. Now, not all of these fields are required. And obviously, we're trying to simplify the time it takes to create this dispatch. But we do want to capture as much relevant information about this response and what's required by the response officer to make sure that when they arrive on scene, they know exactly what they're there to do, and they don't need 2 or 3 other parties communicating with them throughout the process, giving them instruction in the traditional ways that currently takes place. So we want to deliver all the information to the response officer from the moment this call out is created and the responder accepts that call. In the background, before I create this call in a moment, my team are sitting and have a demo responder that's going to receive this alert. It's going to accept the call out and start proceeding. And there's a control center sitting in another location, receiving the alerts and providing backup support and assistance throughout this call out. So let's go ahead and create the call. Sorry, I need to select my location. Call out gets created. And you can see a few things have changed over here. We've got an open call out in a created state with the details, a unique reference number, and the details of the site that requires response. Already in the background, the call out has been owned by the Aura control room, which is a 24/7, 365 control room managing all the events. And on the right-hand side, we can see a map of the location of the response. And in a few moments, you're going to see a responder accept the call out, and the route that responder is designed to take to respond is going to be displayed. We can see that's just taken place in the background there. We can see the responder has accepted. The status has changed to responder dispatched. We can see the route that the responder is going to take on a very nice interactive map. So this can be tracked from start to finish as the responder moves. And all the events are being recorded and presented to the alarm receiving center so that they are completely up to date throughout the process as to everything that is happening and taking place. And they're now empowered with information to communicate with the customer or the end user around the response that's taking place. And all of this information will move into this in moments, will be recorded, stored, and presented in a variety of different reporting tools that can be sent out to various parties that unpack this response that took place. But while I'm speaking, this responder is proceeding in the background. You'll see that there's an ETA of that responder, 2 minutes. The exact details of the response vehicle are provided to the alarm receiving center. So they know exactly who's going to the site and they are able to track that in real time. We've got the response company's name. And as I mentioned, all the details of the responder. There's a 2-way communication channel open between your alarm receiving center and the Aura control room. We'll respond to them and say, thank you for the updates. And this 2-way communication is open and live in real time throughout the lifetime of this call. As this responder is proceeding, the alarm receiving center is tracking the movements every step of the way and waiting for this responder to arrive on scene, which will happen in a short moment. Everything that happens with our system is an automated touch point. There's no humans selecting when the responder arrived or the route that the responder is taking. All of this technology is delivering the solution that you're seeing on screen. And as you can see, once the responder arrives, the alarm receiving center gets an update of when the responder arrived. They can actually see on the map that the responder is in the location of the incident or the client that needs a response. You can toggle between a satellite view and a map view. Depends on the preference of the agent. A response time has been recorded. to show the responder exactly how long it took to get to the scene. And this can be communicated with the end user. And then very, very importantly, once the response officer has arrived on scene, I previously mentioned that there's a checklist item or instruction item list that the responder would get presented. And that responder would need to, as they're proceeding to check the property, acknowledge that they've done a full check of the perimeter, recorded that they've checked the front door for any signs of a break-in. They've checked all the windows for any signs of a break-in. And in this scenario, for this demo purpose, we picked up that there's a problem that needs escalation to police, and the response officer has communicated back that he requires police dispatch or police escalation to this call. So your alarm receiving center is in a powerful position now to be able to escalate this to the police for a response, because the scenario that the responder has reported is that there's been a positive break-in at the site and the police need to come out and assist. And that information is being passed through in real time. No phone calls are taking place between the alarm receiving and the responder. All the technology that is been deployed into the various resources are communicating in real time and providing this information to the power of the alarm receiving center. And then the alarm receiving center can see when that call out has been concluded. Let's say thank you here. Now this call out will get closed off in a moment. And we can talk quickly through the various reporting tools that are available to the alarm receiving center and the customers that will unpack this call out and any call outs that run through our system. So we'll wait for the guys to just close this call off. Maybe we need to ask them just to close the call. Okay, there the call out has been closed. I'm quickly going to just jump over to an email report to show you what reporting capabilities exist with our platform. So we call this our email resolution report. Now, as it sounds, this is an email report that gets sent out to the alarm receiving center, the end customer, and anybody else within the business operations that would need to track service. They can receive this report, and it details everything around this call out with a unique reference number, a timestamp, and the specific details of the site, as well as all the information around that response, which response company proceeded, what the original ETA was, what the distance traveled by the responder is, the responder's response time, the difference between the ETA and the actual response time, and a full report around exactly what happened. So here we confirm that this is a break-in, and those details would be provided here, and a full report would be written and provided, as I say, to the alarm receiving center and the customer. And now there's a sharing of information, accurate, transparent information that's taken place, and it can hold the entire service to account, and it can make the customer feel comfortable that they've got all the right piece of information to understand the level of service that they're getting. So this takes place at an individual call out level once the call has been responded to. We've then got, for the alarm receiving centers, we've got a live dashboard, which would enable the alarm receiving center to get a real-time view into reporting and data around the service that's being provided through the Aura platform and the Aura AutoGuard solution. It would show for a specific period, let's say a month, it would show the number of call-outs, the average response time, what the response time was in terms of the ETAs, the average ETAs, what the percentage of online performance was for that specific supplier. So this is all test data that we're showing you over here. It would break down individual callouts that can be looked at an individual level. It will show us a categorization of the various calls that have been responded to. And it will also show us at an individual response vehicle level what the performance was of the different responders for a company. And then the last piece of technology that I'll quickly just dive into is a customer management portal. So as an alarm receiving center, you would require a customer management portal to manage the Aura relationship, the sites that you're loading on that require dispatch, looking at the historical call out data, analytics, if you wanted to provide any updates to your clients' sites or the information about their sites, that you would do so on a customer portal that is fully accessible by anybody in your team and completely locked down with your information and your data specific to your business. So that's the demo of our Aura AutoGuard dispatch product and service. And we look forward to taking a couple of questions from the people on the call. And again, thanks very much for everybody's time. And we're really excited to start answering questions and get some feedback on this problem that we've identified and the solution that we've built for the UK market. Thanks very much.
Great stuff. So I'm just going to hold off on questions for another minute and just go to really what the next steps would be and how we'd get involved and in touch. But I just wanted to bring up and touch on, Ryan introduced the idea of our supply network, and you saw it in the video. We only associate with ACS approved suppliers where their responders are DBS checked, SA licensed, and that all the vetting is done throughout. We've got guys of the likes of Lodge Security, we've got Copeland, and additional really reputable companies that have joined our service and are responding to your call outs and ours. So you know you're in good hands. So just jumping over to what the next step and how to join the Aura revolution is. So you'll be able to claim your 60-day no obligation trial. Plus you are able to receive a customized, skinned, your brand Aura Panic app that you can pass on to your customers. So the initial step would be to get in contact, or I'll be in contact with you to set up a one-on-one discussion and understand the ins and outs of what your organization does and what you want to achieve. Then we would activate an Aura pilot and understand how to work together and get some key measurables that we achieve to continue. And then we'd work on the customizing a white label app for you guys. Finally, let's move on to questions. I see there's one here already. If you guys want to add in additional questions, there's a next to the chat, there's an ask a question button. So one of the questions that have come through from Felicity is, what would happen if the traffic if there's traffic or responders potentially gets into an accident? So I'll take that one. So we have an option on our system to redistribute to another responder in the area, and that would just kick off. And because we've got that supply and that density of vehicles in those particular areas, we're able to redistribute and dispatch another vehicle in that case. Going on to the next question, what will happen if the call out needs to be escalated to the police? This is a great question. So there's two parts or two ways where we could dispatch to the police. One is if your ARC has the ability or a unique reference number, a URN to dispatch, or they're part of the ECHO program, they'll be able to dispatch to the police quite quickly. Alternatively, what we've done is we've embedded within the service a verification process, getting someone out there to identify and verify that there is something in progress that needs to dispatch police. So we'd be able to contact the police directly through our control center and use that verification to get an expedited response. I'm wondering whether there are any other questions at this time, but I'm also available. Please, my details are available here. If you pop an email to info@auraservices, and I'm happy to answer any questions you may have. We will be sending up a follow up with the video attached, and I'll be in touch. So I just want to take this opportunity. Oh, I see there's one more question from Inigo. Is the session recorded? That's what I was just about to say. We will send out the recording of the session so you can share it with colleagues and other ARCs. I just want to take the time just to thank everyone for their time. We hope it was insightful, and we're looking forward to going on this journey with you. Thanks, Ed.
Cheers, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend.
Ciao.